Hey, Bible babes, and welcome back to Slay and Pray with me, your girl, Melissa Renee. Now, before we hop into this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so that you guys never miss when I post another video. Okay, babes, I am back with the Women of the Bible series, okay? We are on episode 5. And today I will be talking about Rachel and Leah, okay? So let's get into the story. Okay, so let's get a little backstory of what's going on, right? So at this time, this is when Rebecca told Jacob to leave from his brother's wrath, right? And so Jacob goes to his uncle's house, who is Laban, and he stays there, right? And so Laban has 2 daughters, Rachel and Leah. Now, Leah is the oldest, and she was uneasy on the eyes. She was not attractive, okay? The Bible said so. The Bible said she was weak on the eyes. So, she was not attractive. Anyways, and she's the oldest. Now, Rachel is beautiful. Okay? She's gorgeous, right? And yeah. And so that's how the whole story gets started. So, yeah. So, anyways, after Jacob had been there for a while, he told Laban that he would work for 7 years for Rachel's hand in marriage, right? And so that's what he did. Jacob stayed. Jacob worked 7 years, and he's like, all right, 7 years have passed. Give me her hand. I'm ready to marry her, right? But Laban decides that, yeah, we ain't gonna do that. So after Jacob is good and drunk, they was getting drunk in the Bible. Don't front. Don't act like y'all don't know. So after he was good and juiced up, Laban gave him Leah. But Jacob did not realize that until the morning, right? And so he goes to Laban. He's like, what happened? Huh? This ain't Rachel. And so Laban was like, well, it's our custom to marry the oldest first. So you got Leah and Leah. Okay, so backstory. I grew up calling her Leah. I grew up calling her Leah. And yeah, her name was Leah. Her name is Leah. Okay. So if I mix that up, that's where that's coming from. But anyways, so Jacob is upset. And Laban's like, oh well, basically. So anyways, they come to another agreement that, okay, well, I'll work another 7 years for Rachel's hand. Okay, so let's fast forward. 7 years goes past, and he ends up getting Rachel's hand. Okay, so this is where all the drama gets started. Not to say that Laban tricking Jacob wasn't already drama in itself, but this is like sisterly drama, okay? This is like reminding me of Sarai and Hagar type situation, okay? So anyways, Jacob is married to both Leah and Rachel, and he loves Rachel more than he loves Leah. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a thing. He loves Rachel more. And so obviously Leah is having issues with this, like, right? Like, who wouldn't? Like, I married you. You don't love me. You don't want me. Like, she's in her feelings, as rightfully so, right? But in Genesis chapter 29 and 31, it says, when the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, he enabled her to conceive, but Rachel remained childless. Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, this is because the Lord has seen my misery. Surely my husband will love me now. So, I'm sorry, but in real life, a lot of women have babies with men thinking that they'll love me now. Like, this baby is going to bring me what I've always wanted, which is love from this man. And that's not the case. It's not the case in the Bible, and it's not the case in real life. Okay? So, yeah. But anyways, so Rachel remained barren. And Leah had more sons. She had 4 sons um, with Jacob, right? And so Rachel decided, she's like, well, I'm just going to start a family with my servant. So she gave her servant to Jacob, and she had 2 sons by Jacob. Okay, and at the point Leah had stopped having kids. So she decided, well, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to give my servant to Jacob, and her servant too had 2 kids by Jacob. Okay, and so it was a whole drama thing. Well, you know, Rachel being barren and Leah having kids, and there being jealousy there, and they're both jealous of each other, really, because Rachel's jealous of Leah because she can have kids and she can't, and then Leah's jealous of Rachel because she has the love of their husband, and she wants his love. So it was just a mess. Okay, a mess. Yeah. So yeah. Now, one thing we have to know is back in these times, a woman who can't conceive is like a death for her, right? She feels worthless to her husband because she cannot give him sons. And that was a whole thing back then. Like, so it was really hard for Rachel not to be able to give Jacob any sons. Like, it was hard. And that's why, you know, even with Sarai, like that's why they gave their servants to their husband to try to make a family through them. Although we know it's not the right way to do it, and we see what happened with Sarai, and we see that Rachel decided to give her servant, and these things don't always work out the way that we planned because, honey, we gotta wait on the Lord. Okay, He got another plan for us. Okay. He got a plan. Okay, so Leah ended up having 6 sons and a daughter by Jacob, okay? And each of the servants, Rachel's servant and Leah's servant, had 2 sons by Jacob, right? 2 sons each. And so in Genesis chapter 30, verses 22 through 24, it says, "Then God remembered Rachel. He listened to her, and He enabled her to conceive. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son and said, 'God has taken away my disgrace.' She named him Joseph and said, 'May the Lord add to me another son.'" Okay, so she finally had a son, right? And we all know who he is. He is phenomenal, right? We'll get into his story a little later. But yeah, so in the end, Rachel ended up having 2 sons. She later died from giving birth to Benjamin. So Leah's attempt to have kids by Jacob to make him love her more never works. Okay, he has always loved Rachel more, and that's the sad part of the story. Is like this woman she just wants love from her husband, but it never resulted in that. But through all of these 4 women, we have the 12 sons of Jacob, right? And through Leah, she is the mother of 2 tribes that were significant with the Israelites, right? And so the tribe of Levi was a tribe of the priesthood, okay? And the tribe of Judah became the tribe of royalty through which the promised seed came in the person of Jesus Christ, right? So although all of the drama between these sisters and this family ultimately resulted in phenomenal things, right? God had a plan. God had a purpose. God knew what He was doing. Although it was a stressful situation for those involved, Jesus Christ came through the tribe of Judah. And it's like we literally cannot take things into our own hands. We cannot doubt that God knows what He's doing in our lives, right? We just simply have to follow His plan. We have to follow what he is orchestrating in our lives, right? Um, Although this story was filled with a baby mama drama, um, it, like most stories in the Bible, like a lot of these stories is like all kind of chaos going on in the midst of these situations, but God ends up bringing everything together in the end. And that's how he is in our lives, okay? I don't care what your situation is. I don't know what you're going through, right? God has a plan. God has a purpose. I feel like I say this in every video, but that's because it's so true. And I'm not only speaking to whoever's watching this video, but I'm speaking to myself as well. Okay? Because we may go through things in our lives and it looks like God is not there. It looks like he has taken us to the desert and dropped us off and said, figure it out. That's how it feels sometimes. But that's not the case. Because when we're in our desert place, when we're in our wilderness place, God is right there patting us on our back. I got you. He's there rubbing our back. He's there holding us. He's there pushing us through. He's right there by our side. And that's something that we cannot forget. Although Leah did not feel love from her husband, she felt the love of Christ. She knew that Christ loved her. Right? It's just, God cares. We have to stop getting in our minds. We have to stop allowing the enemy to get it, to make us feel as though God is not there, that he does not love us, that he don't care about what we're going through, and our situation is our fault. Sometimes it is our fault. And like, life is just over. Like, God don't care. He does care. He cares. And regardless if it was something that we put ourselves through, God can turn it around for our good, right? Like, that's it. God got us. God is going to work it out. Like, we have to stop. We have to get out of our own way. Okay? Sometimes we be in our own way. Okay? So I just want to leave you with that. No matter how you feel, whether you feel rejected, whether you feel alone, whether you feel uneasy about your situation, God sees you right where you are. God loves you right where you are. God will help you right where you are. Never forget his love for you, and always remember that he's there for you. Okay? That he's literally right there. He's cheering you on, boo. He's rooting for you. He's always rooting for you. Okay? When situations get too tough, run to God. We have to stop putting God on the back burner and just picking him up when things are bad. We have to rejoice him in the good times. You know, when something goes good, yes, Lord, thank you. When times are hard, rejoice. Know that it's going to work out. Rejoice. Okay, don't just rejoice when everything is happy and joyful. Rejoice in those hard times, boo. That's how we get through them. That's how we get through them. Okay, so know that God is right where you are. He sees you. He loves you, and you got this. He got you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye, babes.